BTS is officially rebranding from Beyond the Schedule to Before the Schedule, because guys, we're starting early. PogChamp, welcome back to the South American qualifiers here for the Bucharest Minor. We have ourselves the second match of the day. It's going to be another Infamous team, this time just Infamous versus Playmakers. So loser of this has to go up against Infamous Young in the lower bracket. That's played tomorrow. Winner of this plays one more, probably after like a 30-minute break or something like that. And they're going to be playing up against Infamous. I kind of hope Infamous don't have to go up against Infamous Young, because that's going to be really confusing for me. But, I mean, that's just me being greedy. That's just me being selfish, guys, because this one should be a pretty good game. Both these two teams, for sure, have a decent shot. I'm Mikelorus, going to be your caster for this game. Again, the winner of this game faces up against Infamous Young, and that's going to be played right after. So, got a long day of dotes for you guys here. And we did get to watch, I say get to watch, we did choose to watch Infamous win through the open qualifiers yesterday. And honestly, looked pretty convincing. Just looking at the players that are on Infamous, that shouldn't really be too surprising to anyone that they were able to qualify here. Playmakers were invited because I guess they've been together longer than Infamous, who were formed like the day of the open qualifiers. Honestly, like, look at Envy and Snaking still have the plus ultra tag from the major qualifiers that they were running with, like Fear and some other guys that I don't currently remember. Sue me, but yeah, they don't even have their tags switched. That's how quickly this team was formed. So yeah, we'll see if they can continue what looked like to be a really dominant run in the in that open qualifier. And honestly, Playmakers, they aren't bad. Like, they have some really good players here: Excel, Faker, Sword. Like, these are some really staple names in the South America Dota scene. Even Sword played for quite a few North American teams, so he's been all over the place. He's just an American Dota player, not South, not North, not Central, just America. That's it. So yeah, they got some power here as well. Although, to be fair, I have not seen Playmakers play with everyone here. And how can I forget Stinger? I mean, that's probably like the biggest name out of all of them right there. So yeah, they have some talent. Let's see what's going to happen, though, in this pick ban phase. Infamous were really high on Terrorblade. We're really high on Rubik. So if Playmakers don't grab that here, then I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them grab Rubik, give it to Tomato, and just be happy with that very early pick. Or, you know, maybe give it to someone else if they feel like that's not going to work out. Not really a terribly huge deal to shift things up. Playmakers are taking a lot of their time, though, going through these picks, and it'll be an Oracle first pick, which I'm actually appreciating a little bit more now. Used to be, Oracle was like part of a combo. You would get Oracle Huskar, or it'll be Oracle because the enemies have Darks here. Like, I do feel like you either need to have some really nice way of using the Purge, or some really nice way of using that defensive power. And usually the Purge aspect is more so who you're up against, and the defensive power is more so who you're with. So, you know, Playmakers can kind of force this Oracle to work. Oracle is not that bad, actually, versus Phantom Assassin. Just getting that disarm is quite nice on someone who is as physically kind of right-click reliant as a Phantom Assassin. Especially if she just Phantom Strikes, you just slap that Edict on her, and she's going to be pretty unhappy. That being said, Oracle is, you know, maybe not going to have the best offensive power versus that PA, so that's always going to be a little bit awkward. And hey, look at that, it's the infamous Rubik. So I do believe they didn't have a chance to play PA yesterday because it was always being banned out. It's a really powerful hero, that PA, although I haven't seen her a lot because she's been banned a lot. A couple of times I have seen her, she just like ran the game. It was kind of stupid because Blur is definitely an ability. Blur is definitely an ability, guys. It's that consistency. Like, PA has always been one of those heroes that can function decently in any lane because you have Stifling Dagger. Now, there are lanes that you just will get absolutely crapped on sometimes, but, you know, those are hopefully few and far between. Pugna now with the Oracle. Not exactly a super premium saving type hero. And obviously, the gold standard, maybe not as much nowadays because Huskar has been changed, but, you know, the gold standard would be, you know, can Oracle support someone whose power level is of past patch Huskar? with his defensive power. Supporting the Pugna isn't bad. It's certainly not that bad, but you really want to be supporting someone who can do a lot more faster damage than someone like a Pugna, who's a little bit more slow and methodical as far as his damage output is concerned. Mostly because he's bound by his cooldowns. He is very bursty, but like as far as damaging a lot of heroes, you need a lot of time for those cooldowns to come back up. So like someone like a Luna, someone, again, like old Huskar, maybe a Monkey King, those type of heroes are heroes that really get heavily benefited from having an Oracle on their side. And as of right now, the Purge doesn't really do anything. The Fortune's End doesn't get rid of anything. So yeah, I'm always going to be critical of Oracle picks because I don't think the hero is powerful enough to just pick up and then kind of just have in your draft. I think you have to kind of make him work in these specific scenarios. But yeah, I think you still have a lot of time to make him work, obviously. Pugna as a defensive hero versus PA is close to one of the best you can get, if not the best. Mostly because, I mean, you have the burst to actually challenge the Phantom Assassin. And once you get decrepified as PA, or once your target gets decrepified, whoever you jump onto, you just can't do anything at that point. You got to find another target. So between that decrepify, which essentially makes one target, essentially disarms the Phantom Assassin from one target, or the Oracle who just disarms the Phantom Assassin at all. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that the PA has to go through to actually be effective in this game.
10 seconds remaining.
A little bit of magic immunity perhaps will help the PA a lot in the future. And it's not like it's a rarity seeing PA with BKB. It's one of the more early items that they're gonna pick up. So yeah, it's all part of the plan here for PA. It's all part of the struggle. Looking towards that Rubik, we most likely will have a Tomato Rubik, as I said before, going up against what should be a mid lane Pugna. And I don't expect that lane matchup to be particularly crazy going either way. They both have really high base damage. They both have really good projectiles. They're both green projectiles. They both have nukes for the creep wave, so unless there's some like weird Spirit Breaker or Earth Spirit coming in to help gank the mid lane, which is highly doubtful, I would imagine both of those two players will just be chilling and farming and trading a lot of damage for sure. And they have to make sure not to make any mistakes, because if you do slip up, if you get like telekinesis to the low ground, or if you get hit with the Decrepify Blast, and if you're too far away from your tower, like you could very easily go down there. It should be, I would say, relatively even. Look at Infamous respecting that still old school Huskar Oracle. It's, I don't think, quite as powerful as it was in the past patch, but it's still really good. Like if you save a Huskar for a little while, that regen just has time to kick in, and the regen gets amplified by the False Promise. What is it, doubled, right? I think False Promise doubles all healing. That's the text on it. So any regen you get while being at like, while losing 99% of your HP, you get that double regen. I don't know how much health you're going to get back, obviously, but it's probably a lot. And you're doing damage the entire time. I would say as a respect play, that's still well warranted. Most likely now we have Pepita going to grab his Centaur War Runner here. So it is a little bit awkward to see what is likely to be first 3 picks being first 3 cores for the Infamous side. That being said, I mean, these cores are premium enough that I'm kind of okay with it. They could always grab a Lich 4th and then just have like Lich Centaur War Runner, which will just body most lanes, so that's always good. I guess the only downside of that is that Frost Shield gets purged off by Oracle. Is that a real downside? That's just something that happens. It's not really like a huge downside, I think. It's just something you gotta work around, man. Yeah, but they have quite a few stuns, Infamous. Scaling into the PA. It's all good there. And then Playmakers take a little bit of an offensive shift here. I mean, they already had the Pugna, so towers should be falling in favor of Playmakers. A little bit more so than the other way around. For the Undying pick now, it looks like they may be taking kind of a more sweeping approach towards aggression in this game. Still, I'm not really sure if the Oracle is going to be premium as a first pick here, but Undying and Pugna, as we've seen in the previous games, they kind of just get the job done. Especially if you're able to bash down these really soft heroes, Shadow Shaman, Rubik, even PA. Like, she doesn't enjoy having an Undying in her face. So really tough times facing up against this Undying in the early stages, which of course lets your team push for the Pugna in the later stages. This is what Infamous have been picking like all the games we've seen them.
10
Moose,
seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Shaman. They probably aren't going to get that much more in the way of pushing, but this is just like a very slow control-y type hero, just for the additional disables. If you're a Phantom Assassin, you don't really want your enemies running away from you, so Shadow Shaman usually is a pretty good hero in that regard, though is maybe not like the most guaranteed disabler up against an Oracle. Infamous have just a really, really balanced mid-rangey type of strat, whereas for Playmakers, their cards are kind of hidden right now. They obviously do have both their supports right now, but an additional aggressive core can really, really get things going, and there it is. I know you guys won't believe me, but I was going to say Terrorblade because I always do say Terrorblade as far as like heroes with Pugna. It's always like Terrorblade, Luna, Juggernaut, these really powerful early game heroes. If you're pushing towers, man, you could do it with 4 heroes, or you could do it with 5 heroes, right? There you go. Just do it with 5 heroes. Once Metamorphosis comes up and those blasts start, Infamous will be hard pressed to defend their towers, really regardless of the farm status of the game. PA also kind of tends to struggle up against Terrorblade. Having that much armor as Terrorblade means that physical damage of Stifling Dagger, obviously physical damage of the crit and all that, it's really, really difficult to get through. So we'll see if they can actually get some diversified damage
Dire team ban.
to actually get through to that Terrorblade. It's going to be perhaps a little bit tough to do. I don't know. I mean, from a support standpoint, who's actually going to do that? I am not entirely sure. Kill off a Terrorblade? I mean, they could always give Rubik to Moose, give Snaking the Shadow Shaman, and then grab a different mid laner. And I think that's probably the most reasonable thing to do now, because they really are ill-equipped to deal with a Terrorblade. Versus Pugna in the mid lane, there are any number of heroes that'll do fine up against TB. The DK will be kicked out, though. What's it gonna be? I could see OD doing some decent work for Infamous if they want to go in that direction. If they want just pure brute force, they could always go Lina, although Lina up against Oracle is always a little bit risky.
10 seconds remaining.
I wonder how good Tinker is here.
5 seconds
It'll depend on their last pick, Playmakers, as to whether or not Tinker is actually really good or just okay.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, Tinker's pretty good. They go for an Arc Ward, and suddenly Playmakers, their draft is a lot slower. I mean, they still have a good amount of early game power, but they are kind of going to look to take the early game so that they can take the late game, more instead of just taking the early game so that they could win in the early game. But suddenly Tinker gets really, really powerful here. If Infamous want to get that, matchup versus the Pugna is fine. One of, if not the best hero at messing with Terrorblade, especially once you get that bouncing blind. Whew, that is so brutal as TB. A little bit less all-in than Alina as well. Because Lina, like, you drop your combo into someone and they get hit with that False Promise or the Edict, then you're like, well, shit, I'm sad because I don't have anything left. As Tinker, you're like, well, that's not good, but I'll just blink away and try again in 3 seconds. But the Arc Warden for Playmakers, I think that's a little bit too slow for my liking. So what is it at this point? Is it an Arc Warden mid and Pugna in the side lane? With an Undying, that's a lot of pressure. That is one of the heavier pressure lanes. But I do feel like they may be a little bit short on the early game power of Visage for Infamous. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Visage is not on my radar. When heroes are being picked, I'm not considering Visage pretty much ever. He's not in that stage in the metagame right now. That being said, Visage kind of just like crushes Oracle. Like, Oracle does not like going up against Visage at all. The mobility kind of global, I don't know if we can call it global. Can we call it global? Semi-global aspect of Tomato. Really, really nice answer to both the Terrorblade and the Arc Warden, because you can, mess with the other lanes as Visage and still be powerful in the lane that your main hero is in. Really, really bulky hero as well. And Undying, Oracle, I mean, pretty much all these heroes are going to be really hard-pressed to kind of race Visages, except for the Terrorblade. Terrorblade just kind of gets through Visage really easily, and that just kind of happens. But, yeah, Visage is definitely a difficult hero to pin down. I would say that if you're going to pick up a Visage ever, you kind of do want to have Tomato playing it. And I don't think the lanes are going to be very favorable for Playmakers, specifically that Tomato lane. I phrased that poorly. I don't think Playmakers are going to be able to respond well to Tomato's Visage in lane. Because, like, how do you actually burst him down? Do you have, like, overwhelming lane control on any of these heroes versus Visage? You really don't. So, this Visage should have a very clean lane, and if you don't harass him up to the level 6 mark, if you have a clean laning phase as a Visage, whoa, what is going on with my camera? Okay, then your game kind of just plays itself. You get a fast level 6, you get the familiars up, and then you just kind of body whoever you're going up against in lane. Terrorblade v Visage. That's interesting. I mean, Terrorblade, Arc Warden, and Pugna, I suppose, have all been going towards the mid lane at some point in Dota's history. I think this is definitely one of the greedier assignments they could have. But at the same time, when you're looking at a 12 armor base hero, going up against a hero that really doesn't have high base damage in the Visage. So Visage's like main form of control / harassment in lane is, I'm going to Grave Chill you, and then right click you while you're slow, and you can't do anything in response. That's a good combo on most heroes if they don't have 14 armor. If they do have 14 armor, then it's like, well, I Grave Chilled you, and I'm going to hit you and do no damage. And I just wasted a lot of mana doing so, and now I'm sad. So as far as like a tank is concerned, Terrorblade in this matchup isn't bad. That being said, he will sometimes be able to apply the pressure back to the Visage when he has Metamorphosis. When he doesn't, Visage is going to have a free roll. So I would expect this lane to actually not be too bad for this Terrorblade, despite how greedy it may seem. Let's see how these other side lanes are going to look. Oracle and Pugna going up against that PA. We'll be able to poke and prod at her forever. That being said, they are both very, very soft. So the poke that goes back from the Rubik and any stifling daggers that go towards them, I mean, yeah, they may be able to absorb them because they have 11 tangos between the two of them, and maybe Purifying Flames heal. And, of course, stick charges, which up against PA are absolutely great. But they have to be careful. If they take a little bit too much chip damage, a telekinesis into a jump in from the PA can be really, really awkward. Up in top lane, I don't imagine the Arc Warden is going to have that much of an issue. Shadow Shaman is certainly a very potentially dangerous hero. Sword paused. He's a very potentially dangerous hero. But Undying kind of has all the bases covered here. This is the brick wall that you have to kind of get through. Whenever you pick up an Undying, you're guaranteeing that lane is going to be fine. Oh my god, why are you pausing? I'll keep the chat up just so you guys can see the juicy interaction between these two teams. Purely out of respect, obviously. But yeah, Shadow Shaman typically has a tough time up against Undyings. Any damage you put onto the Undying is most likely going to mean you take more damage in the process. And Shadow Shaman Centaur, they can kill off this very, very soft Arc Warden. No, not very soft. I mean, as far as heroes are concerned, there are softer ones. But if you just get a Shackles to land, get a Hoof Stomp Double Edge to land, a couple of right clicks with that Retaliate, definitely possible that this Arc Warden goes down despite any assistance. This lane, though, is, they would rather like to see a Pugna in this lane. That's a hero you can smash. Speaking of smashing heroes, plus Ultra, Snaking and Eternal Envy, we're just smashing people in the Chongqing qualifiers. And Sneaking's getting smashed right now because he did not expect Faker to be here. Like, suddenly 3 heroes. And suddenly that 3-hero move is going to get them a 3-1 rune split. That is a little bit of an early Metamorphosis, though. Who got it, actually? It was Stinger who got it. So, great for the Oracle. Really, really painful for this Terrorblade, though. I'm not actually sure if that was worth it. Because now Terrorblade is going to start this lane with 1/4 of a Metamorphosis. And again, Metamorphosis is what gives him lane control in this lane. Otherwise, Tomato is just going to be free-rolling it. Like, a Visage up against a melee Terrorblade has nothing to fear. He is completely and utterly happy. So yeah, they get First Blood. And yeah, they get the 3-1 rune split. But they also kind of sacrifice their mid lane to do so. I'm not sure if it's going to work out for them perfectly, or at least as perfectly as they would like. But it is Faker, the greatest League of Legends player of all time. So, you know, maybe there's something to be said for that. And of course, they get snaking off the board, which means EE has a little bit of a weaker first wave of creeps. And this is going to be the entirety of this game. Just poking, prodding, forever. Never ending. This is EE's life now. And to some extent, it's Snaking's as well, because he can right-click back, but he won't really be able to do much with it. So they will just chew through their regeneration. Ugh. Not much they can do to return fire. Not yet. Once you get level 3, level 4, then things get a little bit more equal. But as it stands, level 1, it's tough times. Speaking of tough times, Pita getting pushed out. Gotta dodge those ghosties. Those things do not that much damage. It's really all about the slows that they apply. It's a severe slow. How much slow is it? Slow duration's 0.4. That does not tell me anything. That still doesn't tell me anything. Whatever, man. It's a really heavy slow, guys, okay? Just trust me on this one. I don't know how this wave suddenly got to be this part where Snaking is getting just insta-gibbed. Although he's going to throw the Pugna back. It's not going to do it. Yeah, I don't know why everyone just went here all of a sudden. There's no rune. But they did. And this lane will continue to be pressured. Kind of non-stop. This move of putting this Terrorblade over in the mid lane is clearly working out pretty well for them. And Tomato is not under any threat, really, whatsoever. As I said before, like, it's just the Metamorphosis. But this is the problem with this matchup for Visage. Like, he may not be in any danger, but he can't put the Terrorblade in any danger either. And nor can EE v Pugna. Nor can the Centaur versus the Arc Warden until they get an angle like this, where the Arc Warden is in the middle of nowhere. They'll just chop him down with that Retaliate. Moose is fluxed. He's going to get kind of fluxed up here by Excel, but Pita, he doesn't have the stomp in time. One more decay kills off that poor Shadow Shaman, and everyone will just peace out in opposite directions. That being said, still a great trade. Kill off an Arc Warden ever for a support, and you're happy. Alright, Tomato, what happened here? Metamorphosis was used and he got messed up? Yeah. What a surprise. That's how this game works. Nice decay. Great decay. What level is Shadow Shaman? He's level 2. Level 2 Shadow Shaman, man, is dangerous. But not when you're an Undying. You don't give a damn when you're an Undying. You don't care about any level 2 hero. As long as you are a similar-ish level and he is actually ahead, you're going to crush that. And as it stands right now, Playmakers are kind of running all 3 of their lanes. Again, there's not much pressure that the Infamous side can apply to the Playmakers cores, or even the supports, with the exception of the Oracle, who's like kind of vulnerable. So as it stands, just happily CSing. Of course, super early game isn't the Infamous's really strongest point. With a Visage and a PA, they are going to get a lot stronger as they scale up. But up against up against a Pugna, an Arc Warden, and a Terrorblade, I don't know if scaling into the late game and trying to play from that point is really a solid strat, because I hear these heroes are pretty good late game. I hear Arc Warden's a decent late game hero, and Terrorblade is pretty good. Pretty good. So really Infamous right now. Rough early game, but they will have to kind of rally in that between 15 and 30 minute mark. If they're able to do that, then they have themselves a really good shot. Retaliate now doing a lot of damage to Excel. He gets double edged into the ground. Pita, ghosted, fluxed, still alive though. Chugs down a salve and we'll be happy. Excel's gonna fall and it will be a free kill for Infamous. But yeah, that's really the big timing here that that Infamous are gonna be looking towards. Oh, TP out from Rubik. He's okay. He actually went top lane. And he's spotted going top lane as well by a pretty deep dire obs. So really like that sneaky move. You teleport out in what seems like a desperate move, but use it to get into an offensive position, usually the enemies don't expect that. And you know what? If they didn't have the ward, I can guarantee that, almost guarantee that Playmakers would not expect this Rubik to be here. But they did have the offensive ward, so they now know he's here. But will it actually matter? Because they still get the lift up. Shadow Shaman grabs him with the shackles, and the Centaur has the stomp. Couple more right clicks, retaliate, double edge. Will that kill? One more right click, they got him. But the tombstone zombies are everywhere. Pepita's gonna fall. They do grab the tombstone and a little bit of extra gold. But Moose is in some trouble now because Excel is right on his tail. Another decay. One more right click will kill him off, but the Shadow Shaman into the creep wave should be fine for a little while longer, although the Purifying Flames come in. And the Oracle will grab the kill and be on his merry way, probably. TB coming back to the Centaur, not fast enough to catch up to this Oracle. He's free and clear. Ultimately a 2-for-1 over in that top lane. I don't know if this calculates the 125 gold, though, from the tombstone. I don't believe it does. So a little bit more of an even gold exchange than it kind of looks like there. It definitely doesn't. It showed Snaking got plus 89 gold instead of plus 200 gold from that tombstone addition. You know, plus 125 and 80. It's 200-ish. N.A. Matherinos. Still really smart move. Speaking of smart moves, they're going to try to go for this Terrorblade. Does have Sunder, though, and they may not expect it. Now with the turnaround onto Tomato, he's just going to get torn apart. Whew. Yeah, Familiars and Shadow Shaman. Usually a great combo. If the hero wasn't working with 21 freaking armor. And also, kind of a surprise Sunder. Level 7 Terrorblade. Usually isn't going to have that Sunder level yet. Maybe for mid lane Terrorblade, it's more common to pick up Sunder. Side lanes, definitely not. I could see you picking up earlier Sunder, though, if you're mid lane. You expect more action to come towards you, as it already has. Speaking of more action, there is a attempt to be sneaky here from the Shadow Shaman. Faker knows about this, but isn't going to respect it, but the TP has come in. Faker this time does not have a way out of here. Right clicks have to kill him at this point, but the heals, the Soul Assumption, they got him. A 1-for-1 trade they'll be happy to make, and now Stinger moving a little bit too far forward into the Familiars. The right click damage of these things is insane. Now into the Tombstone? Well, what Tombstone? That's gone now. And now they're on to the last hero who tried to reinforce. I love the play from Playmakers. I love the idea. But the execution had a lot to be desired because you don't want to F with this Visage. He will F you up in the face. Excel's going to try to dance around. Maybe try to get a cheese kill on Snaking. Maybe just try to survive for a little while longer because these birds, man, these birds are relentless. EE dies somewhere else in the meantime. Sword tags him. Shock in range moves, gets a return kill, and cashes in 573 gold for the Shadow Shaman. Oh, baby. Start a trust fund for the little shadow babies. Shaman babies? Shadow babies. That was a little bit too close for comfort, though, for Infamous. That Terrorblade, so resistant to the right clicks. How much damage do these do? 30 only? Very quickly, granted. A lot of chunks of 30, but still, that Terrorblade, if he was just a little bit more durable, if he was able to escape from that situation, would have been an absolute godsend for Playmakers. Instead, they're still just in a decent position instead of an insane position. I mean, just being able to kill off that Phantom Assassin like that, forcing Envy into the jungle. This right here, this is not where you want your Phantom Assassin to be. That is a bad look for her. Phantom Assassin can recover, and she's going for an item build that will help her do that in the Battle Fury. But again, it's still all about that mid game here for Infamous. They don't really want to be building up kind of scaling items on the Phantom Assassin if they can help it. Out of desperation, though, they kind of have to. Tomato has an additional goon for his goon squad. But up against this many heroes, including a Metamorph Terrorblade and a Pugna, I don't know if they can go in for this one. They are going to start chasing after Faker. They have the root, a couple of additional stuns. Stampede there as well. Terrorblade, though, going to get a lot of help here from Stinger. Shackles are being channeled, and Moose is not going to be stopped. Pepita grabs the kill with a double edge, and now the chase is on. To Excel in particular, Bird's going to look to cut him off and split these guys up from one another. And looks like they have been successful in doing so, as Sword has been isolated, and once again with the shackles, Moose showing off what a lone Shadow Shaman can do. And now Excel also in trouble. Bird will drop once, Bird will drop twice, EE will get the last hit. All of a sudden, there's the Arcane Rune. There you go. And that'll be Terrorblade to fall with absolutely no response. Oracle did help him as best he could. but there is just a little bit of experience short of that false promise, which would have for sure gotten that Terror Blade out of there, at least to the point where he can sunder someone. Oh, run away, Arc Warden. Oh no, lifted up into a stomp, into retaliate damage, into an additional disable from Shadow Shaman. Where's the help? Here it comes. It's a Soul Rip, giving him a little bit more juice, but it's not enough. The goons, though, from the Necrobook will kill off Snake King, so at least they get something. Double Edge, ooh, that kind of hurts, Pepita. Gotta be careful with that. But another one-for-one trade, and we have ourselves another trade that does favor Infamous in quite a large fashion. Will just be an attempt to kind of balance out the scales here, though. As EE, though he was involved in 2 of those kills, still hurting in the net worth department. He's a good 1k behind where he wants to be at this stage, so it's going to be really tough getting back to that, getting that 1k if you're just killing these little tiny golems. These guys don't give a lot of gold. 13? Yeah, have fun with that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So they will have to lean very heavily on this Visage in order to recover. Granted, this is the hero to lean on if you're looking to recover someone else. Visage at this point in the game, very, very difficult to kill just durability-wise. And of course, with his familiars, with that additional troll, his control and damage is really high as well. Moose drops some Serpent Wards in the back, which will very quickly deal with that Tombstone. Unfortunately, they're not attacking the Undying, nor are they attacking the tower. 2 of them are. Now it's up to Pepita, and only Pepita, to kill off this Undying. Tower does fall, actually, and Excel's just stuck. I think he can't move. Oh, EE with the kill secure. That's how you play PA, guys. Take notes. I hope you all have your notepads out. Note, 12 minutes in, team gets killed, question mark. If so, throw Stifling Dagger and secure. You know, using those Serpent Wards just to kill that Tombstone actually worked out really well for them. Obviously, they would rather not do that. They would rather put the Serpent Wards like here because it could attack the tower. But I mean, that Tombstone didn't last long at all, so that was kind of well played. I don't know how intentional that was for as far as killing the Tombstone is concerned. It was definitely like a vision thing, but hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. (11 to 9), and it looks like Infamous have just about drawn things up. The Arc Warden has slowed down his game quite significantly. He does still have that book, now working on that Midas. So even though he is, you know, maybe not where he wants to be, he will very, very quickly accelerate. The same cannot be said about that PA, so it is still Infamous who have to make these moves, and make moves they will. Pepito with the Blink Dagger is the move maker, and he'll make a move all over this poor Oracle, who is going to get shackled up. Right clicks, and dead. Only level 1 spell stolen, though. Fate's Edict is kind of a nice one, though, because you could block Decrepify Blast with it. A kill for Infamous. Not the best one, but a kill nonetheless. And this is what the Centaur has to do to help EE get back in this game. He has to set up these kills. He has to look and take heroes off the map. Even though it's just an Oracle, that's still one fewer hero that's not going to be hunting this Phantom Assassin in the next however long that respawn timer was. 30 seconds? Whatever. Stampede, they've got eyes on the high ground. This is a real Arc Warden, it looks like. He is going to hit with the False Promise, and he will be able to turn and do some damage. Moose comes in with a Creep Goon Squad. What is this? How did he summon the creeps like that? That's going to kill off the Arc Warden, kill off the Tombstone in a flash as well. Now it's Excel trying desperately to kill off Snake King, but he doesn't have the gas. The tower will fall shortly after. I don't know why creeps went in that direction. I guess they were just following the Oracle. This tower on top lane takes a lot of damage, but it will be held, and now they're going to look to rally and maybe kill off Sword. He does have a TP, but the TP won't do anything up against this Centaur, so they just gotta chill and wait it out. Wait till he starts casting something, or just go beat the hell out of him. That's good too. Life Drain! Life Drain! Life Drain onto Envy! Gets the kill! Okay. See, that's why I think you should probably wait for the Hoof Stomp, the only way to cancel a TP or Life Drain before you go for that. Moose sacrifices his life so you can get a bounty rune. Probably worth it. 70 times 5 plus experience. I guess technically not worth it. Mathematically not worth it. No, you're actually denying gold. It is worth it. It is totally worth it. This is a sad, sad Phantom Assassin life. Power Treads, Wraith Bands, and Battle Fury en route. That is not good, man. But still, they're 1K in the lead. It's all in Tomato's clutches. Mostly in Tomato's clutches. That advantage. Carry us, Tomato. Carry us to victory on your Visage. And as long as he kind of gives the Terrorblade a wide berth, avoids the focus fire, Tomato's a pretty decent shot at doing that. Solar Crest on the Shine. Is it still called Shine? It is. Shine applied to Terrorblade kind of destroys him. Shine is a 0, comes out instantly. Man. Visage officially Fox. Most OP character confirmed. Here comes the defense. Cell goes full Cthulhu. As Snaking's gonna just drive them back. No, they're gonna look to initiate onto Sword, but the bubble comes in, dodging a lot of those familiars right clicks, and Tomato's now in a precarious position, but no one's actually focusing him. Excel is trapped, and Moose is driving everyone else back. Where is this Terrorblade? He's still kind of arriving, but they've just caught so many heroes in cages. Moo's gonna valiantly give up his life so that he can get the Shackle off. That's an instant 4 kill for Infamous, including the tower, including an additional tower, most likely. I thought Terrorblade was coming in from behind. I just assumed that that was happening, but sniping Sword immediately. This Pugna, I doubt, has any real durability. I mean, some stats, a little bit, but all of a sudden, it's 17 minutes in and there's racks. This is one of those times where I just can't help but think we're on a 5-minute delay. Chat has no idea what's about to happen, and I'm in a very privileged position right now. Now, I don't know the stats of this exactly, but if you take racks pre-20 minutes, you're probably winning that game. Like, the odds are definitely in your favor. That was a good bubble by the Arc Warden. That was a great bubble because it dodged a lot of Visage and familiar attacks. But it was that Shadow Shaman, man. That Shadow Shaman coming in from the right, just like he did in that previous fight. Landing that Shackle, landing the Serpent Ward trap on that Undying, keeping him 100% out of the fight with that Flesh Golem. Meant that Tomato, though he was in what looked like a really dangerous spot, if you go here as Visage, I assumed there was going to be a Terrorblade coming in from here, and then you just get attacked from every which direction, and your only escape route is like here or here, and these are really long escape routes. They take a long time to get out from there. But with no Terrorblade, man, it doesn't matter. You're not taking any damage, even though your position may not be the greatest, because the enemies aren't in position either. That smoke was spotted, by the way. It's still going to get Infamous a pretty big push on the map. I think they know. I think they know something's there, guys. Pretty sure they know. PA has a Battle Fury now. Still net worth-wise, EE is hurting. Still net worth-wise doesn't seem like it really matters because Moose is picking up all the slack. I mean, he's got no gold, right? The Shadow Shaman is poor as hell. But I would argue his contribution easily equal to both the Undying and Oracles put together, like easily.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
At least so far. Ooh, nice steal by the Rubik. Blast, not gonna last for much longer. Blast on Rubik is so insane. You don't have like a ton of mana as Rubik. You have a good amount. But just getting a pushing spell as Rubik is insane. Alright, tower. You had a good run, tier 1. You had a really good run. It's time to die, though.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Tier 2, same thing. Infamous are feeling themselves right now. And EE is slowly climbing the ranks. Does have that Battle Fury. And he's still farming, man. They don't need him. Once he gets this Desolator, I mean, Phantom Assassin can then jump in and really mess some people up. Or you just chill and just kind of mark targets with your dagger, desolate them, corrupt them, whatever it's called. If you just apply that, whatever it's called, effect, minus armor effect from Desolator, onto the Visage target, Man, they're gonna get messed up. We're looking at a lot of minus armor soon with this AC completed. And Terrorblade, I mean, yeah, he's known as the armor guy, right? But they will cut him down to size really easily with some coordinated play. Is there any minus armor that the Rubik can steal? Not really. So Infamous, couple of absolutely fantastic fights. They find themselves in a pretty commanding position. I think with all this minus armor, they should be able to just walk into Roche with no problem whatsoever. The Roshing, I guess, counter-Roshing ability of Playmakers is limited at best. Nether Ward is really, really annoying, and it is maxed out. But everyone else, like, these heroes are not that great at messing with Roche. Undying's decent. Everyone else is just okay. So if they wanted to, I think that looks like a pretty free roll. Probably once they either get a pick-off or a Desolator, or both. Or AC.
Is under attack.
Cleave damage. Almost full cleave damage there. Yeah, so Envy, even though he is still like, quote-unquote, behind, he still has enough gold to be effective at this point. So the PA has gotten over the hump. She's ready to party. Maybe not fully party. Once she gets a BKB, then she'll be ready to fully party.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Aghanim Scepter though on Centaur. Pita has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. 818 on the Centaur is not too bad at all. Now he's able to give his team so much extra durability. 40% flat on the Stampede, not to mention the block of the Crimson Guard. Disgusting durability. And if you're someone like Terrorblade, who's just like all physical right click, you're sad, man. You are a sad Terrorblade. Was this the most free Roshan of all time? That died in a hurry. Oh, double damage rune. That certainly doesn't hurt, you know? So yeah, get double damage rune, or a pick off, or Desolator. Any of them, it works. Is Envy gonna switch gears, or is he gonna Desolate? He's gonna Desolate. So we got Desolator coming in. We have Aghanim Scepter complete on the Rubik. And we have Pepita hunting for swords. Unfortunately, ooh, guess is wrong. Clever, clever sword play. What's going on the other end? Arc Warden seems like he's just constantly in the wrong neighborhood. Trying to delay the game by split pushing these waves. Not really something easy for him to do because he doesn't have the travels just yet. He is doing his best, but this is a very standard build. Ooh. PA drained out almost. Nope, jumps away. And now turns around for the dagger. No crit, but the birds are overhead, which means Sword is in for a world of hurt. Oh my god. Yeah, he's dead. He's super dead. Oh, and Excel, that dagger looks like it hurt also. Now, the field is going to go up. So, a little bit of durability for this tower, but the daggers, EE is just waiting, man. EE is just waiting for a lucky roll. And then shit's gonna really hit the fan. Unfortunately, never lucky. Never lucky baby rage. Envy's sticking around here. The rest of his team is like, we're leaving? We're not leaving. We're going back in, boys. Snaking's gonna draw the spirits out. And the field this time not gonna work. EE just praying for that crit. Dude, Envy, you clearly have not been practicing your PA. These are some pathetic crits that I'm seeing from you here. I guess that he crushed the Pugna with one, so you know, maybe not pathetic, but damn, man, you gotta practice. You gotta get those crits on demand, you know? So they walk in, take a tier 3 for free. Keep in mind, these racks is already down. Moose finds himself an Arc Warden fake. AC is complete at this point. AC is complete. Desolator is complete. All the minus armor in the world. Runes. Runes. Get the runes.
This should make my life easier.
90 per. Oh boy. That's a lot of gold. That's also a lot of gold. Nothing more satisfying in this game than insta-killing a creep wave with any ability. Change my mind. That is peak satisfaction. Like a double wave is coming towards you and you're a Magnus with Battle Fury. I don't know why you would have Battle Fury as Magnus, but you just do. You just kill it in like 2 hits. Nothing is better, man. Nothing is better in the world. I do still have this Aegis on Envy for a little while. BKB is not too far away. And they have Serpent Wards now level 2. Looks like it should be about time for Infamous to look for another play. Envy's going about it by himself. He ain't no coward. He's going in, man. He is just going in for Faker, and he's like, oh shit, you have like 40 armor. He just wants to use the Aegis right now, and it will be successful. But the heals keeping you alive for so long. Now here comes Pepita to jam it home. Here comes that instant dagger crit. No, he tried. Shadow Shaman dies in the meantime. Why are you pushing mid? There's nothing here to push. Okay. The Aegis was being reclaimed soon anyway. It was very unlikely that they were going to use it. So Envy makes the I'm going to use the Aegis play. And gets pretty well rewarded. I would say killing off a Terrorblade is not bad at all. Well, you can see how little damage he actually did. It was mostly that Purifying Flames, which I think the Oracle messed up there. He somehow didn't purge off the Purifying Flames heal effect. That probably shouldn't have happened like that.
Dire are scanning.
But the BKB is now up on the Phantom Assassin. And the jaws of death are slowly closing in here on Playmakers. Is there travels? They need travels. Okay, they do have travels on the Arc Warden. So this is going to be happening for the rest of the game. Problem is that you're already 1 racks behind. So the pressure is all on you to really just shove out these waves. And honestly, even though you may have that clone to do that, which is, you know, essentially a free roll. PA jumps on you, on your clone, just instantly kills it, then, yeah, your lanes are just going to start pushing back towards your side. It's like, Infamous have really good answers to that type of play. For right now, though, it's just chill time. So everyone get some water and be back in 2 minutes, because that's when the next thing is probably going to happen. I say that. I say that, though. Faker just be scooting all over the place. I mean, I don't think anyone on Aghanim Scepter is really far away. Worth waiting for sure if you're close, but they're not. And he's getting a Basher, which is not that far away either, so... You know, man, they have some items coming up, but the longer you wait here for Infamous, the riskier it gets. It's not like Arc Warden and Terrorblade are suddenly going to overpower your hugely farmed PA and Visage at this point, but, you know, it gives them options. You place more risk on the game than you really have to. You never know. Maybe you make a really bad play, and the many disables of the Playmaker side end up catching you off guard. You know, all of those disables that they have. All one of them that they got. Seriously, that's the only one. Looks like it is. Ooh. I don't think this is... Oh, no, it's not good. It's not good. If you're able to put it on the Visage, like, getting that additional attack speed is kind of cool. But he's not really a high-range hero, so it's not really useful. Are they just going to go in? They didn't pick up any items or anything like that. They're just going in because they want to. I guess they've shoved in mid and top enough so that they could kind of bounce between the two and force someone to defend this area and then do this. Drop Serpent Wards for free. Field goes up, so even though the field's only over here, you can't hit over here. Oh, there's the dagger. Okay, there goes Excel. He's dead now. That's what I was talking about. You just gotta throw out the daggers and just cross your fingers that the rolls are good. And it looked like that time it was good. Okay, well, I hope you got your water, guys, because welcome back. They're missing top racks now. Sword clearly enjoys himself, so that's 2 racks in advantage now for Infamous. And the next round of items. Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman for even more initiation, as if that was even needed. And 4 bounty runes. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting. I don't know, man. Playmakers have been doing exactly not what their name would suggest. They can't. Like, they don't have any way of initiating. Because they have picked up their grand total of, you know, a huge amount of stuns in their lineup. So getting in is kind of difficult. They can stall, and in a stalled game, they will win. But this game, clearly, because these buildings are falling pretty rapidly, is not a stalled game. Looking back once again at the draft, Oracle was the first pick here. Oracle was the first pick. I don't think he did anything spectacular through any of the stages, any stage of this game to really say, yeah, this was great. That's why I'm kind of medium on the hero. Again, it's a hero that you can make work, but I don't think have taken, oh my god. I don't think they've taken quite enough effort into actually making it work. I don't even know if it's like worth trying to make it work. Like, there are some heroes that are like powerful, but you gotta work around them a little bit. Give them space or whatever, like Terrorblade. Well, let's say an Anti-Mage. Like, Anti-Mage is good, but you have to make him work. You gotta build around him, you gotta play around him. Here comes Pepita charging his way out. I think the projectile is coming towards him, right? No, it's not. Okay, he's fine. He's just gonna teleport out. But Anti-Mage is like, it's worth it to try to make it work, because he'll just win the game for you. Oracle will not do that. By the way, Roshan's dead now. Roshan is super dead. That is a lot of minus armor, guys. That is a lot of minus armor. So now there's an Aegis Cheese in the clutches of Infamous. And Playmakers have picked up a Manta Style on Terrorblade since we last looked. And I think that's it. Game is perhaps drawing to a close now. Playmakers need a damn near miracle defense. This is going to be a nice one. An MKB picked up. Getting a little bit of true strike there up against that PA is quite nice. Pita leading the charge here. Does spot out a couple of heroes. That position, though, is really hard to fight into. This is a singular choke point. This is a no-go. You don't want to do that. You want to take him from multiple angles if you're going to fight up there. But at the same time, you just ignore them. If you know the enemies are all over here, you're like, okay, you can stay up there. We're going to go over here and force you to come through this singular angle. In which case, we will have the vast advantage. Flesh Golem, that was Decay stolen, and Excel, oh my god, just getting crushed. They're just ignoring them. They're just like, screw you guys, stay back there if you want. We're going to kill your building. Snake in the meantime is just distracting everyone. Mortification is out, but they've, oh, collapsed onto Excel and just crushed him into oblivion. And now onto the Oracle, he's dead as well. Envy is just calling his targets and obliterating them. Baker, he's trying to kill Pepita. He's doing an okay job, but the cheese comes in on the Centaur War Runner. The lift is there, plus the shackles. There goes the Terrorblade. And everyone's being cleaned up. It is cleanup on Isle Dire. Oh, the cleave. The cleave and the crits. Oh, the humanity. That's how you end the game. Take note, last series. That's how you end a game. Infamous Gaming, they rally around their Visage for the mid-game, take a truck ton of good fights, and ultimately you can make the argument that Playmakers, their draft, had a lot to be desired because of how greedy it was, because of how little control they had. I think you could probably make it a little bit of an easier argument, saying Pepita carried the hell out of that game. Pepita and Tomato lifted so hard, and even Moose, like, these guys made sure that Envy was able to recover and actually get to the point where you can insta-kill people. And man, oh man, did it work. So Infamous Gaming on the destined path, now one game up for the Infamous versus Infamous Young match. I hope it doesn't happen, because that's going to be really painful for me. It's going to be really annoying. But guys, this is best of 3. So Playmakers, time to reset and time to, you know, maybe get something with a little more control, maybe something a little more aggressive, something more early game. And we'll see what's going to happen in Game 2. Guys, I'm Mikelorus, and I'll be right back.